Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Cristina, your host and biblical counselor. And on today's episode, I'm starting something fun and something new: letters to Cristina. In this segment, I'll be reading letters from viewers like yourselves who are sharing these crazy confessions or even have questions, things that they wouldn't feel comfortable asking a close friend, a family member, or even a church leader. And so here, I'll be reading these letters and providing a biblical counselor's perspective. So let's start with today's letter. And it says, I've been talking to this guy for a few months now, and honestly, I'm confused. It feels like I'm usually the one reaching out. I'm the one asking to hang out, trying to plan things, trying to keep the conversations going. He finally agreed to hang out, so I picked a place and he asked me to pick the date. The date of our date, like 30 minutes before, he texted me saying that he couldn't make it. He didn't really explain why, but just said that he couldn't make it. A couple days went by and I texted him just to see how he was doing, but he left me on scene. A few days ago, I saw him at church. He didn't approach me, but he did wave hello from far away. And I'm wondering if I should just directly approach him and ask if he was interested or not. My friends are telling me that he's clearly just not that into me, but I just want clarity. I don't know. I'm confused. What should I do? Okay, first of all, I just want to say thank you for sharing the letter, and I say this in a non-sarcastic way, but I truly am so sorry. Like, I feel so heavy for you that you clearly are very emotionally invested in. I don't even want to call it a relationship because a relationship requires two parties, but whatever this situation is, okay? Now, I want to start from the very beginning. Okay? It said you said that you've only been talking to this person for a few months. So it tells me that there's not much relationship because you also said in the letter that throughout your time as being friends or whatever this is, you're the one that's reaching out. You're the one that's asking to hang out. You're the one trying to plan things. You're the one trying to keep conversations going. And I actually just realized I didn't even read this well. It says that he finally agreed to hang out and asked me to pick a place and the date. And so far, this is a person who is not making any effort. Okay, and let me tell you, behavior is a language. So let's talk about his behavior. If he's not reaching out, that means he's not interested in talking to you. He doesn't miss you. He is not thinking about you. If he's not asking to hang out, that means that he doesn't want to spend time with you and doesn't clearly want to make you a priority. If you're the one trying to plan things, it tells me that you are not at all in his agenda for anything at all. And you're the one trying to keep conversations going, which tells me that he's not even interested in whatever it is you're sharing. He's not interested in asking questions. And so, if this is true, okay, based on what you're sharing, I have a question for you. Why are you okay with this? And actually, let me ask you another question. Do you have any standards at all? Do you have any standards at all? He asked you to pick the place we were hanging out at. He asked you to pick the date, which tells me that he's not taking any initiative at all. Why are you okay with that? Why are you okay with pursuing a person who is not pursuing you? Okay, now let's talk about how the day of the date, this person didn't even show up. He didn't explain why he couldn't show up and just left you. Okay, left you wondering, didn't say anything. Are you okay with talking to someone, being in a relationship with someone, or initiating a relationship with someone who is clearly either A, allergic to communication, or B, does not care to communicate? What is it? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with early on in a relationship, in a friendship, being involved with someone who doesn't even think you deserve an explanation? I hope you're answering no. I mean, obviously, I hope you're saying to yourself, no, clearly I want an explanation. And you might be saying or thinking, well, I do want an explanation. That's why I want to ask him. So before we get there, let's keep going. Um, you mentioned that a few days went by, which tells me that he had time to contact you. He had time to communicate. He had time to explain himself. He had time to reach out, and he chose not to. And that's nothing. When you were the one who once again reached out to him, he still chose not to respond and he left you on scene. So again, are you comfortable? Are you okay with falling for a person who is very clearly not interested at all, who does not want to communicate, who doesn't even consider your heart at all in this situation? Okay, and then you mentioned that you're a little bit confused because you saw him at church and he didn't approach you, but he waved from far away and said hello. Why are you okay with crumbs, breadcrumbs? Like, why are you okay with him just waving? Like, that is, listen, in a relationship, you need more than waving. You need communication. You need understanding. You need to go out. You need to know each other. You need to learn each other. I mean, this is not a relationship. And so you follow your comment by asking or saying, I feel like I'm wondering if I should directly ask him if he's interested. Again, behavior is a language. He is not interested. And he's already demonstrated that. And so I want to tell you, and I just want to be honest, and please know my heart. I don't judge you in any of this. It is hard. Listen, it is, and he is also responsible for what is happening here. I don't know why he has chosen to not be clear with you. He clearly isn't interested, and he has chosen not to. I don't know if maybe he struggles with being honest. Maybe he doesn't want to disappoint you. Maybe he doesn't care. Who knows what his reasoning is? But listen, men out there, please, let's grow. If you're not interested in someone, make it clear. Do not waste your time. Do not set up dates and claim that you're going to go out with someone and leave them unseen and then ghost them. That is not okay. And I know girls do that too, but I'm just saying in general, men, do not do that. That is not okay. And so please know that I'm not trying to scold you or anything like that. Obviously, if we were in a counseling session, I would want to ask deeper questions like, do you have any standards? What do you think is important in a relationship? What do you think you deserve in a relationship? Do you want to be considered? Do you want to be treated with honor and respect? Do you care about trust? Do you care about being loved the right way? And I would want to dig deeper into this. I would want to learn more about your childhood. What were your examples of love? What do your parents, did they have a good relationship? If they did, what was that like? If they didn't, what was that like? What have been some of your previous experiences, whether in life or in relationships? How have those things shaped you and affected your heart and maybe even your identity? Because the truth is, as I read this letter, what I hear, this is what I hear and what I see. I am so desperately in need of love and affection and attention. And I'm willing to beg for it and to continue to seek it, even if I'm rejected. That's what I read. That's what I hear. And that's not God's heart for you. And so, my friend, truly, I'm not sure why you're confused. I think, and with all due respect, I think you might be blinded by maybe the castles and stories that you build in your mind, and maybe you even fantasize about this person and who they could have been and would have been. But the truth is that they're none of that. This is who he is. He has chosen not to communicate, not to initiate, not to contact, not to care, not to do anything that is good for you. And that is not okay. Okay. And so I want to end with giving you at least 3 standards that you should have. I assume you're Christian because you're following my content, and I'm obviously Christian, and so I'm a biblical counselor. So these are 3 things that you shouldn't settle for anything less. Please listen to me. I've been going on almost 9 years of marriage. Our marriage is not perfect by any means. There is no perfect marriage. There is no perfect relationship, but there are really good foundations for a solid relationship. And here are 3 things that you should never settle for anything less than these. Number 1, date a man who has a character, whose character is like Christ. What does that mean? Okay, let me explain who Jesus is and what his character is like. Number 1, he is clear about his intentions. 100%. He will never and has never left you wondering if he cares, if he loves you, and who you are to him. He is so intentional. He communicates his intentions He is consistent. He pursues without ever getting tired. He is loyal. He has integrity. He's not allergic to communication. He desires for not only to pursue you, but for you to draw near. Date a man like that, a man who will be consistent, a man who will never leave you wondering if you're good enough, if you're pretty enough, a man who does not have wandering or wandering eyes, a man who his eyes are fully fixed on you, so much so that he makes his intentions clear with you. Date someone like that. Number 2, date a man who has a fruit of the Spirit, okay? And this one, I'm going to do a separate episode on this because it's so important. And a lot of us girls or even men overlook this in the dating stages. And we think that someone can grow into this. And there is some truth to that, but this is important. Okay. And it is at the core of Christianity. Okay. Date a person who has fruit. And by that, I mean, do not date just someone who goes to church, someone who serves in church, and someone who appears to be Christian. A lot of people go to church. A lot of people serve in church. And there are even people who are teaching in the church, who are in leadership roles, who actually do not have good fruit. How do you know the difference between an apple tree and an orange tree? Well, you shall know them by the fruit that they produce. You can taste and see for yourself. Okay? And so, date a man who has a fruit of the Spirit. Just to give you a few examples of that, a man who's patient. A man who's patient with you, who cares for your heart, who considers you. Okay, who a man who's gentle, who treats you like a fragile vase, truly, and I mean that. Date someone who is loving, okay, not just with you, but how does he treat waiters? How does he treat people? How does he treat his family? How does he treat his friends? How does he treat his coworkers? What is his relationship like with other people? Because that'll say a lot about how he'll treat you. Date a man who has self-control, okay? Who is not addicted to substances or images and things. A man who is not a drunk, okay? A man who is not easily angered, who you can't even go to dinner with because, God forbid, somebody looks at him the wrong way. He's going to go make sure to tell those people to not be looking at me like this. And if you date a person who is not self-controlled, it'll truly bring so much pain and years of chronic pain and anxiety and even depression, because dating someone or marrying someone who is quarrelsome, who's always arguing, always fighting, who has this need inside of them to always be looking for something evil to do, will affect the way that you live, will affect your marriage, will affect your home, will affect the children. So date someone with self-control. And the list goes on. We can spend a whole episode talking about the fruit of the Spirit, but date someone who you can say, he's not Christian just because he comes to church, but like he truly has good fruit that I can test and see for myself. And lastly, please set some standards. I fear, based on what I'm reading, that it sounds like you may even have, I don't know, maybe some traumas or just hard things that you've lived in your life that have made you feel like maybe you don't deserve or that you shouldn't have standards. But everyone should have standards, and especially a Christian woman who is not an orphan, okay? A woman who belongs to a king, a woman who is a prince and has a father who loves her and cares for her. You should not settle for less. And let me tell you, someone being good looking and smart and successful is not good enough. Okay, look for a man with good character, with good integrity, who is kind, who is patient, who is sweet, who is gentle. Date a good man. Someone who is willing to suffer well with you, someone who is willing to consider you, someone who is so lost in you, in the sense that his eyes are on you and they're set on you, that he makes his intentions clear with you. So please, I don't know who you are. This letter is 100% anonymous, but please either book a one-on-one session with me, because we need to establish some standards here, okay? Some important essentials. We need to create like a pack for you for dating, or talk to your local church leaders. I know these subjects can be a little bit uncomfortable. Uncomfortable and kind of awkward to talk about if you don't have a lot of like rapport with leadership, but it is something important to consider. Okay, please consider these things before you start dating. And if you have any questions, anything like that, you can send me an email. You can contact me. You can book a one-on-one on my website. And so thank you. Thank you for sharing your heart and your letter. Know that you're not alone and that dating is hard, honestly. And especially nowadays where people are not making their intentions clear and that's their fault. But yeah, you have discernment and wisdom. So use those tools for your benefit so that you don't have to go through hardship for no reason. Alrighty then. Thank you everyone. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.